What's up, y'all? This is Trav from WeGotBeats.com, and today I just want to do another beat making video using my free sample pack vinyl treats. It's available on my website. All you gotta do is go to WeGotBeats.com, put your email in, and you'll get a link to download it. So without further ado, I already picked out one of the samples. This is probably my favorite one, and I'll play it for you guys. So you can hear it's a nice soulful sample. It's got the vinyl crackle and it sounds like a record. Truth be told, I've already flipped this sample twice, but not on camera, and I just wanted to do something to show you guys, what this sample pack is capable of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to choose medium grid slicing and cut that, get rid of auto dump. And I think I'm going to use the last three parts. So I'm going to come over here and we'll just build out my first pattern. Now we're going to do the second pattern. And then the third pattern. I think we'll start with pattern one and work with some drums. I already know what kind of drums I want to use for this, so I'm going to come over here to the Cymatics drill kit and I'm going to choose this kick, and I want a rim shot, and we'll put pattern 6. That's where I'll put my drums for right now, and build our drum pattern. And we'll put some hi-hats in there. Hold on. Shit. And quantize that a little bit. Make sure it's hitting. Now that we got basic beat going, I want to bring this over, and I want to put everything in the mixer, and we'll do some gain staging at this point. Like I said in my previous video, I like to have the samples hit at about -90 dB, and we'll bring the kick up, and I'll make that -6, and the rim underneath that. Okay, so this beat is pretty much done at this point. I want to come over here and add a bass line. We'll choose boo bass, turn the bass up, mid and treble down, and we'll go to the first pattern, and we're going to try to figure out a, since this is in F major, we're going to make the scale F major, and we'll experiment with a bass line. Alright, let's record that. And we'll come over here to the velocities, turn these up a little bit, even them out, and we will quick quantize that, and then we're going to drag it down a few octaves. So maybe here, turn it a little bit more. I'm not really feeling that bass line. Let me try something different. bass. I think I want to go for a square wave this time. So I'm going to come over here to Omnisphere. Sometimes Boo Bass works, sometimes it doesn't. It worked on the other beat that I did, but sometimes it just don't work out. You got to choose a different bass. So sometimes when I don't do that, I come to this square bass in Omnisphere. And then I'm going to put this in its own channel. And we'll come over to the parametric EQ and choose bass. And we're going to roll that off, the top end off. That's better. Yeah, that's way better. So go ahead and record that bass line. Hold on, messed up. Hold on. And we'll come over here and quantize that. Something very simple. I think I want to just make this even more simplified and just do it like this. Make sure my notes are right. I'm gonna drag this up here. Yeah, that's fine. So let's drag that back down. And since we got that pattern done, I'm gonna put it on its own pattern, which would be 5. And then let's start building the basis of the beat. You know, our arrangement. So what I want to do is put that there. This will be the hook. This is going to be the hook. And maybe 3 will be the intro. Let me hear that. Now we got the backbone of the beat. So at this point, what I want to do, I'm going to take the bass and put it next to the sample, and we're going to start mixing this. Now for the sample, what I want to do is I want to come over here to the EV2 channel compressor from Waves. And we'll come down to my WeGotBeats sample preset, and I'll show you what I did with this. So basically, I'm just limiting the ratio at about 8, and the threshold is at 0, and it's a little bit longer release. And then I just did some basic EQing right here to taste, and let's hear what that sounds like. Yeah. And then we're going to load up the DBX 160. Peak and then invert it. Let's see what that sounds like. Make some adjustments. Yeah, that sounds nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to glue the drums together by using parallel compression. So we'll call this Paracom. Since we got the basic beat, I want to see maybe we can do something for the intro and like a turnaround, just to switch things up. It might not even need it. Let's listen. Yeah, I think it'd be nice if the snare came in right there. So let's separate all of the drums into its own pattern. And we'll copy and paste all this. And I think what I want to do with this is I just want to bring in that snare at the final bar of the intro. So something like this probably. And actually, you know what? I have a better idea for this rim shot. I think what I want to do is I want to kind of mess with this yeah, something like that. And then what we'll do is we'll come to the reverb 2, choose snare verb, mute it, and then we'll come over here to these 2 bars, select that, and then create automation clip. And we'll put our points in right there and right there and listen to what we got. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, that's better. I like that. Put that underneath. Yeah. And we'll do the same at the end of this verse. We'll just drop everything out except for that snare. And then we can go ahead and make a full arrangement of this. So we're going to make this a 3-hook, 2-verse song. And then we'll have like 8-bar outro. And we'll be done with this beat, guys. Take this outro, create automation clip, fade it out. And the one thing we gotta do before we end today's video is we need to process the master channel. So I'm gonna come to the parametric EQ, select my master preset, and that's just rolling off everything below 20 hertz and everything above 20 kilohertz. And then we're gonna come to the SSL compressor, choose the Pensado 1 preset, get rid of analog, and then choose the L1 limiter, and we're going to do a 0.1 out ceiling and an auto release, and then we're going to choose the meter. And I shoot for, on my beats, I shoot for anywhere between -8 and -12 dB, so it's loud enough to be competitive, but also there to preserve the dynamic. So let's listen to that. Beat's done. So if you want this sample plus there's actually 8 in this pack, so if you want this sample plus 7 more, go to my website WeGotBeats.com and download it for free. And take care, guys.